Well, delighted to be joined by Nathan Thompson. Nathan, obviously, last night away at Gillingham, I suppose a game of two halves, really, but not in a sense that Gillingham created too many chances, just in terms of territory. How did you feel that first half went in comparative terms to the second?
I think we played into their hands, if I'm truthfully honest, in terms of turning the ball over, allowing them to break up the game and shell it forward into our box. It wasn't what we the manager sort of told us that is exactly how they'd set up and to prepare for that. And we didn't control the game as well as we have been over the last couple in particular. The change at halftime completely changed the dynamic of the game, and it allowed us to get the ball wide into crossing areas. And you saw when we've got quality coming in, like that Jono is going to finish it. So yeah, it was a much better second half performance, and it was frustrating if anything. But I think, if I'm honest, it shows a sign of a team really progressing, in that we can put in the performance we did first half and be able to turn it on the head and produce what we did in the second.
Yeah, the manager said afterwards that you've worked on a number of formations, and in games like that where things aren't probably going your way as you would hope, the fact you have that flexibility to change into a different formation and cause problems straight away. I know obviously getting the goal so early would have been probably an ideal situation, but second half performance caused them so many problems because they probably didn't know what you were going to do.
Well, this is it. And you saw, like when we played Ipswich the other day, we were really effective in the back three, and we were able to get the ball wide, and it caused them real problems. But yeah, each game throws up different challenges. And I've been involved in teams before where we've maybe only had plan A, and we were so sort of adamant on making sure that our plan A was successful that we come unstuck at certain times. Credit to the manager, he has briefed us well on changing formations, and we fully expected to possibly start with a back four and being able to adapt during the game. So yeah, the boys are showing positive signs. I think I read it was the sixth time we've come from behind, and that is massive. So there's some really good positive signs going forward.
Yeah, it was interesting actually, because the start of the second half, you were coming out of the back three as three centre halves anyway, but obviously you're a little bit wider in that formation that we played. But within a minute, you're sort of charging forward, and obviously your shot on your left foot to created the opportunity for Jono.
Yeah, this is it. I think earlier on in the season, it was a sort of similar position I was playing there, and me and Wardy were developing a nice relationship down that side. So to strike that up again and see how effective Wardy was from that position yesterday was perfect. He's a pleasure to play behind. He'll always run those hard yards for you, and that's massive in a team. It does a lot of distance, and unsung at times. But yeah, it gave me the license to be a little bit more free. They ended up switching to one up top, and it enabled the fullbacks to push on a little bit more. So yeah, it suited that back four yesterday, and who knows what we'll do going forward in terms of different games, different scenarios. But it was effective for last night, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Jono's on 19 goals, I think, now in all competitions, and two finishes that any striker would be proud of, particularly the second one. And I guess as a defender and as a teammate, when you have that sort of focal point, but someone who can score those kind of goals is a godsend.
Without a shadow of doubt. I think the second goal in particular, you don't really appreciate how difficult that is in terms of he's running, he's on the move, the ball's bouncing in front of him as well. He's got a defender tight as you like to him. And realistically, from a defensive point of view, there's not a huge amount more that the defender can do. Do you know what I mean? So I was stood right behind it when he touches it in, and it's such a deft touch, and you're seeing it. I remember speaking to him at the start of the season, and I said, what's your most prolific season? He was like, last year we scored 17. He goes, but it will be this year, and that's before he'd scored any goals. And then to take him to 19 last night, it makes him the most prolific, and he's still got plenty more. I think even he knows he's become a lot fitter on the pitch. He's getting about. He's become a real handful. He's always been a real handful playing against him over the years, but I feel like he's taking his game to the next level this season, and he really is a vocal point for us, huge for us in that sense. So yeah, credit to him. He's worked his socks off, and he's getting his just rewards.
I think that people watching at home, and also obviously those that were fortunate to be there watching the game, were really pleased as well to see such game management, because you can go 3-1 up and still be gung-ho and get caught on the break or whatever it may be. But you managed the game really well in that second half. I think they had 79% possession second half, and I think they had one effort on goal, which obviously Beeves sort of flick-headed over, and that was it. And to go to a place like Gillingham in those conditions, to come away with such a comfortable victory in the end, it's testament to the way the lads performed.
This is it. And I think as you look over the course of the season, you've really seen the team start to grow up. I mean, you forget at times the age of a lot of the players in the side is still relatively young, and you're seeing mature performances week in, week out. And that's something you don't always get with a younger group of players, is that inconsistency. The fact that we're being able to do that, being able to manage games away at places like Gillingham, which isn't easy. You know what I mean? There's many teams that will go there and become unstuck. You only have to look at Charlton and play them at home. So, yeah, credit to the lads. They're showing an experience beyond their years, and long may it continue, because obviously, what is it, 18, 19 games that we've got left. It's going to require that sort of game management. Times where we're going to be tired. It's heavy. The pitches are heavy. It's a high workload, but if you're able to control the game and not exert as much energy as maybe you have to in other games, it will be critical for us.
And moving forward, obviously back at home on Saturday against Wimbledon, and if this league's taught us anything this year, it's to not count chickens on any given day, because teams are beating each other left, right, and centre, probably more so this year than any other year. So it's about, I guess, attitude and not looking at the opposition and just looking at yourselves.
Yeah, this is it. I think there is a tendency when you find yourself in second position and stuff like that, naturally you're thinking, right, how many do we need to get up and stuff like this, and you do tend to think like that slightly. But you know, as you say, our home record is very good, and we've probably got a little bit more of a swag at home and an arrogance as such. It's our patch. No one's coming here to turn us over anymore. But it is important that you focus in exactly the same way as any others. We've got next 3 games that we probably feel very winnable. I think you look back at the Plymouth game earlier in the season, it was another game we controlled at home. So it's a big period for us. We can really put some pressure on and maximise the points on offer at a moment in time. And yeah, as I say, if they're able to churn out performances like that, then who knows where it can take us.